At the end of August last month, my ISA, Stocks and Shares ISA, sat at £75,477. My Hargreaves Lansdown SIPP sat at £229,454. Today we're going to have a look at which dividends paid me in August, and stay tuned because it went bonkers. Welcome to Destination Wealth. So the ISA, £75,477, was up from last month. Not a huge amount. It was 74,745 last month, but it was up, and that was the main thing. And we had some decent dividends. The SIPP was £229,454, and that was up from £221,524. So some huge increase there. And again, some superb dividends. So let's check it out. We'll have a look at the ISA first with Interactive Investor. And for the first payment that I had in that was from a company called B&M. Most of you know who they are. Discount supermarket, pay really good dividends, done really well with the share price on that one as well. And B&M in the ISA paid me £134.64. The next company in the ISA that paid me was Liontrust Asset Management. Liontrust, the share price has taken a massive dive over the last sort of year, but hopefully they'll come back. You know, they've had quite a lot of outflows. They're still a really well-run company. Just money, people have been scared and pulling their money out, but you know, they still pay a fantastic dividend, and I'm sure the share price will come back. I'm just going to hold on to that one. Liontrust in August paid me a whopping £468.50, which was fantastic. Again, that was just reinvested straight back in. The next company that paid me, you've probably seen on previous videos, was Gore Energy Storage Fund. They specialize in battery farms, basically. So they set up battery farms to store excess wind farm energy and solar energy for when the grid needs it. They then sell that back to the grid. They've got energy storage farms in the UK, Northern Ireland, and in the US, and they're moving more to the US actually. So they're just going to grow and grow. Now, Gore Street paid me two dividends last month, one of £6.58 and one of £15.36. I don't really know why there was two, but there you go. Not complaining. The next company that paid me was one of my favorites again, and that was Games Workshop, the desktop gaming company. Huge intellectual property. There's rumours, well, not rumours, they've signed a deal with Amazon to produce movies, of which is rumoured that Henry Cavill's involved. He's a massive Games Workshop fan, painting miniatures and things like that. So Games Workshop, I'm probably going to buy more at this company. The PE is a little bit high at 25. They've got a historically high PE, usually in the 20s up to the 30s. But it's been dropping a little bit. I'm waiting for that to come down a little bit more because I want to buy more of this stock because they're going places. The Games Workshop paid me a dividend of £44.20 in August. Then the last one that paid me in August was a company called MS International. Now they have three sort of arms to their business. One is industrial forklift forks, replacement forks for forklift trucks. The second is garage forecourts, building, renovating, rebranding garage forecourts, signage and all that sort of thing. And then the third, which is the more lucrative of the three, is surface to air gun emplacements, anti-drone guns, that type of thing. It's three really unrelated businesses. They all do very well, and there has been rumours of them selling off the other two to focus on the defence side of it, because that is just a massively growing industry and they're really well regarded in that. They make a lot of money, and the demand's obviously all over the place for that. So MSI paid me £184.86 in August. So some really, really good dividends coming in August there. If we have a look at the chart for August for the ISA, it was a superb month off the back of some really poor months. You can see they paid in total £854.14 in dividends. That's a huge amount coming in passive income. I think it's the most I've ever had by a long shot in 1 month in the ISA. It doubled last year, which was a good month. £414 last August, 854 this month. So you can see now we've already surpassed what we did in 2024 for the whole year, and we've got another 4 months left. There's no doubt I'll be getting more dividends in the next 4 months, so we should really smash that target. So we're at £2,143.81 average for the month, compared to 169.54 last year. All looking superb for the ISA. And I've got a bit more to invest. There's a couple more companies I want to invest in. I've got a bit of cash to invest in some of those, which should increase those dividends even further. Moving on now to the SIPP. Now, like I've said before, in the SIPP, I do tend to own some similar companies as to what I do in the ISA. But another fantastic month, and I knew it was going to be in the if the SIPP's doing well, the ISA always does a lot better when it comes to dividends, because I own a lot more stock in those. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 companies. 6, because one of them paid me twice. 6 companies paid me dividends in the SIPP. First one being DiscoverIE, or DiscoverIE Group. They specialize in engineering things, parts, machinery, real bespoke stuff for all different companies. Very innovative company. They paid me a dividend of 77.83. Quite a small company there. I think I'm going to buy more of their stock because it's going quite well, and they could really explode. The second company, again, which I own in the ISA, was at B&M Discount Superstore, supermarket if you like. They paid me £292.45. Nice amount from B&M. The third one, same one as what I own in the SIPP, in the ISA as well, was Liontrust Asset Management, the asset manager investment firm. Nice payment from them, £591.50. So that was good. Then we have Apple. We all know Apple are not a huge dividend payer. They paid me £59.96. Moving on to the next one, Games Workshop. My favourite again, Games Workshop, paid me £88.40. And the last payment we have in the SIPP for August was from a company called Gore Energy Storage Fund. They're the ones who have battery farms basically and store energy for the grid and then sell it back to the grid when the wind farms aren't producing or the solar's not producing if the sun's not out. And Gore Energy Storage Fund in the SIPP in August paid me £66.36. So the total for the SIPP for the whole of August was the most it's ever paid me in 1 month, which was £1,204.94. The next nearest to that was back in January, which was £1,201.18. So that was a fantastic, fantastic month. So what we're going to have a look now at is the ISA, how we're doing for the year, for the first 8 months. See if we're on track, see if we're beating last year. So here we can see in this chart the 854.14 that we got paid this August, which was double the £414 that we got paid in August last year. So at the 8-month mark, we've already surpassed the whole of 2024. So we're now running at £2,143.81 for the whole of 2025 up to August, compared to £2,034.42 for the whole of last year. So we've still got another 4 months to go, which is great. I've amended this from some comments from my previous videos. I had the algorithm set up wrong in this spreadsheet. The monthly average was dividing the total number for the year by 12 rather than the actual number of months that we'd had. So I've amended that, and this is now showing as an average of 267.98 for the first 8 months, which is great. Last year was 169.54 for the whole 12 months, the average per month. So that's looking good. Moving on to the SIPP. How are we tracking there? The first 8 months, you can see we had that really good month in January, pretty good month in February as well. Superb month in August just gone of that 1204.94. We're currently running at £4,534.44, and for the whole of last year we did £4,913.74. Well on track for beating that. I'm hoping we should beat that nicely this year. Average monthly income for the first 8 months, 566.81, as opposed to 409.48 for 2024. So everything looking good in the SIPP, and again I've amended that so that it's the average for the 8 months, not the full 12. This one we're going to look at the combined total monthly dividends. So we can see 2024, the combined dividends for the SIPP and the ISA together were £6,948.16, and we're already at £6,678.25 for the first 8 months, with an average monthly of £834.78 as opposed to £579.01. Now this is going to be skewed a little bit because of those 3 months that are well over 1,000, and massive milestone, that was £2,059.08 in dividends that I earned for August between the two accounts, which I've never got close to before. I mean, the most was January, which is £1,500, just over 1,500. So that was a superb month in August. Really pushed it up there. Hoping we should breach the £8,000 mark for the whole year for 2025. That'll be superb. And again, all this money, all these dividends are just reinvested straight back into the stocks that pay me them, both in the SIPP and the ISA. Dividends in both of those accounts are tax-free, so there's no tax to pay on them. No tax to pay at all on the ISA in any way, whether you withdraw it, any gains, any dividends, all tax-free at the moment. In the SIPP, all gains are tax-free, and any money you pay in, you get a bump up through the government, 20% or 40% if you're a 40% taxpayer. But you will pay tax when you withdraw or go into what's called drawdown, which is basically taking your pension out, because that's classed as income then, and you'll be taxed at your current your tax income rate at the time. So hopefully when you retire you'll be on a lower tax band because you won't be earning as much. So that's the plan anyway. So all looking good. Yeah, 6,678.25 running total at the moment for August, up to the end of August. September looks like it's going to be a fairly good one. So we'll see if that pushes us above the whole total for 2024 by the end of September. It'd be great if it does. Now, if you'd like to see a video on how I plan to get to £1 million in retirement savings between the SIPP, the ISA, bit of crypto and my company pension, then check this video out next.